Hey, welcome back to Matter of Fact. We're on mock draft 2.0, post free agency. Not really over, but all the major moves kind of done with. Some players still need to get released tomorrow, but yeah, we're pretty much wrapped up with it for the most part.
Well, when I looked at the list, there's a lot of guys still available, but again, I guess the people that most of the fans would know are almost gone in the top 25. So look at this Saints out here making plays to get Justin Reed.
Bro, they're funny. What they paid Chase Young, like 18, 19 mil?
It's like 17,
Yeah, them
but
boys was crazy.
I
Right
mean,
here.
nah, I mean, bro, I mean that's free agency. Like, look, all of this shit. Look, the nigga that was right next to him, Trayvon Morrig, and I like him. He's a good player. Like, but I don't know. I don't know if he getting 18 mil from me. Like, that's when you tap into free agency. That's it's kind of how it's gonna go for you.
Yeah, depending on the team and the situation. Obviously, teams or players, they're going to take less to be in better situations and shit like that. You kind of saw that with the DJ Reed contract, one of the better corner contracts. And I'm sure he would have got more elsewhere, you know?
I mean, I guess I like I think they got. I do think the Lions got a good deal, but
They got a great
a
deal.
lot of yeah, like I know I feel like you know a lot of teams probably would have, but I don't Washington would have threw a bag on them for sure. They're throwing a bag at everybody, so
Like,
it's just one of those things though.
I mean, look who the Patriots. I mean, think about it like this: they let go of Carlton Davis. He gets paid more than DJ Reed, who's a better corner, I'd say.
Right? You
So
know what I mean? So it's just how it goes, but you know it's free agency. It's the wild wild west.
4% remove. What's this shit talking about? Uh, Usually doesn't make us do that, but all right. So last time I was odds. This time Austin's odds. I'm even. So you're on the clock. Titans first pick
Yeah. I mean,
and no
you know,
trades. No trades, obviously.
yeah. I mean, we know how this shit goes, man. They reporters report, rappers rap. When there's smoke, there's fire. But at the end of the day, one pick, I'm gonna select Cam Ward number one overall.
Cam Ward, and I think they threw a bag at I think Dan Moore, so that kind of makes me lean like if they get a Godfather deal, they might trade out the pick, but makes a lot of sense for them to just stick and pick here.
All signs, point to them probably possibly selecting their franchise quarterback at this pick. But like you said, desperate times calls for desperate measures for some of these teams, especially if they don't win out on the last two or three veteran quarterbacks. So, someone might get a little scared and give up 3, 4 first round picks for a quarterback. But if that don't happen, just sit back and enjoy Cam Ward.
Yeah, I mean, as a Giants fan, I'm hoping they trade with us. We get our selection, but we're not doing trades, and makes a ton of sense. Your number one pick. You kind of gave up on Will Levis towards the end of the year. I'm seeing reports, some rumblings that Brian Callahan, he kind of has a longer leash than we might think. So there is a possibility that he has a little bit more time, but still, he was kind of over Will Levis towards the end of the year. Mason Rudolph kind of played that joint out. So
Yeah, and it's just like, man, look, I got the first pick. You know what I mean? Like, like that would make a little bit more sense if they were at three and they were talking like that. It's like, all right, like yeah, we might miss out on the QB, or like we're not trying to get railroaded to trade up. So like, fuck it, we just going to take Travis or Abdul. and we'll see what we can do. Hopefully, we can make something shake next year or package something up next year. But that's the whole get up because I mean, especially with with y'all trading. For a little bit there, I was like, I actually can see that being a possibility because they have their 35th pick or whatever it is, 34th pick, but after that, they don't pick for a minute. So I was like, maybe they might trade just so they could get some collections of picks, and then they'll just go ahead and possibly select the quarterback next year. But I was like, that's kind of pointless because everything that they would be getting from y'all would be what they would need to put into a package to trade up to one next year to get a pick, to get a quarterback.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, yo, we here now, dog. It's the uno. It's not even dos. So let's just get them.
Nah, definitely. Now with the Browns, number 2 pick. Last time we went Cam Ward, Shador. You went Shador. I'm not going to switch it up too crazy the entire draft just for we did this last time, so let's switch it up. I'm definitely doing things that I think could possibly happen that there's a chance of. I'm hearing reports that Kirk Cousins, he might be signed here real soon for the Browns. Now, I wanted to bring something up that's going to make this pick make a little bit more sense, but so they just restructured Deshaun Watson's contract. And just to let you guys know, through the media, a lot of times they talk about, he's being a real team player. He's taking a pay cut and they're restructuring his contract. Restructure is not a pay cut. It's not a pay cut. It's moving the money around. It's messing with the cap, freeing up some money now, pushing the money down a little bit. So restructure the contract, $81 million cap hit. Crazy. Just one of the worst trades and contract combos in NFL history. It's ridiculous. And it's just crazy seeing his trajectory coming from Houston and just the outlook on his play, how he was playing, how he was looked at as a person. I mean, we all know about that. You know about that. But it's just, looking at the numbers, looking at the value of getting a rookie quarterback and taking advantage of that 5-year window with that rookie contract. And now Myles Garrett, he was talking about, look, man, I don't really care about going from Cleveland to Canton. That's going to happen already. Contract negotiations. And it definitely worked. It fooled me. I was like, man, this guy's gone. Like he might be a Lion. He might be it might be in a division. Like I was getting a little shot. I'm like, bro, the Commanders.
What I tell you, the day that he requested a trade.
I don't remember. What did you say?
I said he's going to get an extension. He's going to get an extension. He's going to shut up.
Yeah, just like Max Crosby.
Like it's the play. It's the only play that they have. So they have to. You know what I mean? They got to play that card. He was getting like 25 mil at the time.
See, like usually I wouldn't be fooled by it. That's what I'm saying. He played this shit masterfully. Like he played that shit masterfully. But
as if the team doesn't say yeah, we'll grant him the trade, Buddy not getting traded.
Yeah, but I mean it's Myles Garrett. So what do you expect him to say? Yeah, Myles, like, we got you. You know.
He requested to see the owner. He said, "Nah, dog, don't talk to me about no money." Right.
But basically, my logic here for real is, look, you get it. You can't really take advantage of the rookie quarterback thing early on. You know what I mean? It's going to take a couple years to get off this Deshaun Watson contract completely. So out of the top 5 or so teams, I say the Browns have like the best ready to win now roster. And I feel like this is an opportunity that they have to hold on. This is an opportunity they have to really shore up their defense. And you know who they have in division to play twice a year. They got Lamar Jackson, you got Joe Burrow. We'll see what the Steelers do at quarterback. By the way, what's your take on that? You think Russell Wilson, It's more Russ.
I don't know. I'm not really. I mean, I look at the screens and stuff, but I don't know what they got going on over on them ends. I just know it's going to be Aaron Rodgers or Russ. So
Yeah, I'm hoping it's Russ. But either way, I think they could reestablish themselves as, well, we're going to play hard-nosed defense, and then we could kind of look what they did with Joe Flacco. They made the playoffs. They lost to the Texans in C.J. Stroud's rookie year, but a lot of that was just clean quarterback play and good defense. So I think they could create the nastiest edge combos here. Go Abdul Carter. I think it's pretty realistic. You get Kirk Cousins in there, and this would be one of the best defensive Kirk Cousins to play with. Think about when he was with the Vikings.
yeah, but here's the thing, and that's why I'm letting you rock out. But basically, Cleveland plays outdoors. Kirk Cousins not trying to play outdoors. He hasn't played outdoors since he was in Washington. And they said that the reason that he picked Vikings over the Jets is because the Vikings play in a dome. And then he went to the Falcons, obviously, and he got Molly put. Now, also just because the whole Kirk Cousins thing can happen, but again, Atlanta would have to make him a June 1st cut. At this point, it's like, damn, for real, the motherfucker better off just being on our team as the backup until someone at least gets
Definitely.
injured. Until you know what I mean, the quarterback might get injured. You know what I'm saying? Like that's happened before. Remember, Teddy Bridgewater got traded. Something like that could happen throughout the season, and maybe they trade him then. But as it stands right now, and how everything is going and how everybody trying to do their little bit, it's gonna be Shador too. It's gonna be Shador too. I ain't trying to crush your jeans, but yeah, bro.
Well, we don't know until we know. And
Right.
like I said, I've seen reports that he might go there, and that's cool that he would prefer to be indoors and not play outside. But it's also about, well, what does Kirk want to do? Like, you don't have
Well,
these options.
well, think about. I mean, even with that aspect of it, what does Kurt want to do? It's like regardless of the situation, they need a quarterback. Cleveland still needs a quarterback, even if it ain't the door, they getting one in. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not leaving this motherfucker without a quarterback, especially a young one, which also gonna put Kirk Cousins in the same bind that he was just in.
Yeah, but in that situation, he was kind of told otherwise. Like he kind of went in that situation thinking that he was going to be the starter, and they kind of hit him with the bait and switch, which I never really cared about because it's like, bro, you're a mercenary quarterback at this point. You've been collecting bags your whole career, so I mean, they have no real ties to you. So I never really cared about that. But still, I'm going by the reports that I saw, and I think it's still a possibility. And just based off the Deshaun Watson contract, just based off the fact that they still could get a quarterback in the second round, third round, and then just kind of, keep reloading and throwing darts at it next year. They have a ready to win roster right now. I think it's a real possibility. They put in Kirk Cousins there. They just traded for Kenny Pickett. Obviously, that doesn't really matter. Backup quarterback, whatever. But like I said, out of these teams in the top five, like easily the best roster in my opinion. They were just in the playoffs. So
I mean, I agree, but it's like this is Cleveland, so I'm not going to put nothing past Cleveland.
yeah, we've seen crazier.
It's
We've seen
sometimes
in this
the logic just be mad. The logic is mad simple. We just spent 9 years of motherfucking Myles Garrett's life not being able to make it shake because we didn't have a QB. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna spend another 9 years of Abdul Carter's life because we think we can make it shake with Kirk Cousins.
That's cool. That's cool in terms of what you would do, but
No, that's
would
what I'm saying.
you
That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. Like,
would you have moved off Baker, who got you your first
I
playoff
probably would
win?
have moved off at that time. I probably would have moved off of Baker for Deshaun Watson. Would I have guaranteed him all that bread?
Given the situation that he was just coming out of?
They're so desperate. That's what I'm saying. They're that desperate for a quarterback. They're that desperate to do
But
that for a QB.
you gotta remember with the Baker situation, the only reason why Baker was so mid in the season before
It's
they
because he
let
had a
him go
bad
is because
quarterback.
yeah, and he played through injury and he tried to be hard nosed and
Right,
play
but
through the
but
injury.
but even if that wasn't the case, Deshaun Watson was such a better quarterback at that time than even Kurt or
Yeah,
not Kurt
bro.
or even Matt Ryan.
Yeah,
You know
but
what I'm
if it
saying? More
wasn't
than
for the
that.
baggage of the situation, he would have had way more suitors. It's not like the entire league was going after him. It was like the
The,
Falcons and a couple other
the
teams.
quarterback needed teams. And
Yeah,
this team was so needy at quarterback, so desperate, they fully guaranteed the contract.
yeah, but
You know?
they still had Baker, and Baker's baking over there in Tampa Bay. So I don't think they should have gave up. So you would have gave up on Baker, and you still would have did the Deshaun Watson shit despite the massage thing.
Look, you're saying if I'm the Cleveland Browns,
At that moment, yeah.
at that point in time, and you're that desperate for a quarterback, they desperate. They're desperate. And you
They
finally got
weren't
this
in
is
that
your
moment
one opportunity to have your own guy.
they didn't have to be desperate though. They had
Right.
their guy. They had their number one pick.
No,
He won them a playoff game.
he was already a free agent. He's already a free agent. You know what I'm saying? And he
But
was
they
a cash
couldn't.
off. We can't act like this is the Baker. We can't act like he went to football camp. He went to QB camp and he got right when he got right, and then he went to a place that loves him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
They should have been the place that loved them.
You know what I'm saying? We got to tell that whole story because maybe he doesn't become that QB without that stint in the QB camp out there in LA.
Or he could have still been that guy if they just gave him the chance and been like, all right, this season was a wash because you played through that injury. You know, I think Baker was. I think Baker's still. I think he's still the same guy that won him that playoff game. You know what I mean?
He didn't. He played. He didn't look good. I didn't think he was good when he got traded to the Panthers. That's what it was. He got traded.
Yeah, but nobody looked good with the Panthers. Sam Darnold didn't look good with the Panthers, and then he went to the Vikings, and now he just got a bad.
Sam Darnold went to QB school.
Okay.
San Francisco. You know what I'm saying? These cats is developing. That's what I mean. But I'm just saying this is whatever. Nonetheless, you think that they'll and I mean, yeah, they trying to slander my man Shador's name, and it's
and don't get me wrong, like all reports say that they're high on Shador, and I'm not saying that like if I had to put money on it, I had to put my rent on it, I would go Shador. But you know, we're over a month, we're 6 weeks away from the draft, so
44 days.
Yeah, so like you know, I think this is a realistic thing, especially from a franchise that makes boneheaded decisions. If I were them, I'd go quarterback. But, you know, it is enticing to have that edge duo with Abdul Carter and Myles Garrett. And then when you factor in the money they still got to pay, buddy, it's like, all right, let's give them a bridge and keep it pushing, you know?
I mean, everybody, we'll see how they go with it. But so I'm up at 3 right here. I'm gonna keep it simple. Just go ahead and get the best player on the board, Travis Hunter. You know, don't really know what the Giants are going to do at quarterback. I guess they just hope that they end up with one. They kind of got put in a shitty situation, or well, the GM and the coach are kind of in a shitty situation where
you think they pass on Shador?
If this, like, remember when you said earlier that Callahan looks like he got a little bit of leeway, like he might have some leeway, which I believe because it's a new GM, he might want to get cute. That's not on me if the GM gets cute. I'm the head coach. I'm not the GM. I don't pick player personnel, but like that, it's like okay, yeah, I can see that situation where maybe they don't get they feel as if they don't need to get a quarterback, and they'll try to shoot for Archie or whatever is in the class.
Bruh. See, that's contradicting from what you just said with my Browns pick, though. So they need a quarterback. They don't have a quarterback. Why wouldn't they?
I said, if I'm going off of what you said, that Bill Callahan was told that he got leeway.
What does that have to do with the Giants? Brian Daboll.
I'm about to. Can I get there? I mean, you cut me off before I got to get there. Come on, can I get there? So you know what I'm saying. So basically, if my job's on the line, I'm not about to, and I got to make the playoffs. I'm not about to, and I'm the GM and I'm the head coach. I'm not about to assume that I'm about to make the playoffs with the second best quarterback in the draft. Like, I think that is, again, like I said, it'd be one thing if he came out like, yo, look, I understand it's a process. And if we're lucky enough to get, a quarterback, we're going to stick this thing out and see what it looks like. He said, yo, we need to win now. So y'all trying to win now, which is why y'all are steadfast trying to get one of these veteran quarterbacks, right? Y'all were basically, you can let me know if I'm capping. Y'all were basically in on the Matthew Stafford thing, but y'all had a deal in place and was about to give him the bread. And then y'all were in on, I don't know if y'all were in on Sam Darnold, but like I know, like the second, I know the quote was the second that y'all were out on Stafford, y'all were in on immediately. Y'all were in on like Aaron. I personally thought that Geno wouldn't be that bad for y'all, and y'all could have still got Shador personally. But I mean, I don't know if that was a thing.
I think with Matt Stafford, we still go quarterback. I think with Aaron Rodgers, we still go quarterback. If we go Geno and you would have went quarterback, you're funny, bro.
I mean, hey, look, not my problem. Not my. This is the one thing I've never really had to deal with in my life. I've had to do a lot of bullshit. The quarterback thing, I've never really. This situation is kind of tough. But yeah, I just assume y'all end up with a veteran because most head coaches they feel better going to war with somebody that's been battle tested in the NFL. So whether that be the former Super Bowl winning quarterbacks in Russ Wilson or Aaron Rodgers, I just feel like they're more comfortable going that way with it. And then since again it's win now, that's what we was told by the higher up, the owner of the organization. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get us a wide receiver 2 to go with our wide receiver 1 because we just paid $39 million for a cornerback, right? What's his name? Paulson Adebo.
But we also just re-signed Darius Slayton.
And then also got right, but bro, you got Neighbors is in the slot. So you got 2 outside guys. And then y'all just got a safety 2, and y'all just drafted a cornerback in the first round, 2 years ago? No? About season number 3? Yeah. So I think we got some firepower and we got a quarterback that can throw that bitch. Let's go make some plays. Let's go get to the playoffs.
All right, back at it. All right, so you're going Travis Hunter 3. So explain to me the logic of Shador. He's definitely going to. Why the Giants not picking him in 3 despite not having?
Well, I believe that the Giants will try to get either Aaron Rodgers or they'll rock with Russ, and because they have a quarterback, Super Bowl winning quarterback, and
way past their prime though. So
hey, look, I'm not,
and I'm not even being a homer here, right. But it's just when I was going in to the Abdul Carter pick, you're telling me, oh well, nah, he's definitely going there too. There's no universe where it pans out. Shador's there at 3 that we're not going quarterback, despite getting Aaron Rodgers. Even if we got Matt Stafford, I think we still go.
Hey, bro, and you might be right. And the best thing about this is we're going to know in 44 days. That's the best part. You know what I mean?
So what's the point of what's the point of not letting the Carter pick rock and interrupting my flow with that?
Well, no, it's on there, bro. That's on his rock.
Yeah. I know. I'm just saying the logic is inconsistent. So we'll see how that plays out. Unlike the Browns, we don't have no huge cap hit anchoring us to a quarterback. You
Well,
know what I
the good
mean?
the good thing about
Not only that, Kevin Stefanski's been there for a while, right? Now,
yeah, and the good thing
Don
about the
Mara,
cap is that it goes up every single year.
what, the cap?
Yeah.
Not enough to lay off that contract.
Well,
But
you know,
John Mara, he be capping, bro. He says that we need a win now, but at the end of the day, we brought Brian Daboll here as a QB whisperer. So I mean,
I
if
agree.
this if
Quarterback to
this
whisper. Let him be the
what
quarterback. I agree, which I think, and I think that's still in the cards. Like I think that, like obviously we're not doing trades in this, but like I think it's still in the cards that he gets a quarterback to whisper to.
what in round 2?
No, maybe he really is like, yo, let's fuck it, 3-1s, 3-1s, a 3. Let's get up to 1 and get our QB, bro. We don't care about none of that other stuff.
So you don't think they're in on Shador Sanders at all?
I don't think. I think y'all have to trade up to 1, or like I don't think no one has. I don't think the league has a problem with Shador Sanders.
I'm not talking about the league. I'm talking about the Giants.
I don't think the
Who's been
Giants got a problem
scouting
with Shador. I don't think the Giants got a problem with Shador.
Okay, so
I don't think they got a problem with Shador at all. I just don't think that like he's gonna, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, we gotta get a quarterback. We got Aaron Rodgers, so it's like let's get Travis Hunter.
we don't have Aaron Rodgers presently. Unless
y'all
let me check Twitter just in case. Maybe this shit makes a lot more sense. Bills re-signed Ty Johnson. Dolphins Westbrook Akini.
All right, bro. Come on, let's go. Who cares? All right, so yeah, I drafted it because I think y'all gonna get Russ or Aaron Rodgers. If y'all got one of them, I think y'all just try to make a run. I think y'all try to get to the playoffs. I think y'all believe
the run is to make a playoffs. Russell Wilson came in with a Justin Fields. You feel me? Like he came in with the Justin Fields. Nobody. I saw reports that his market is just pretty much us, or if he stays with the Steelers, which I feel like is a chance just because they traded for DK and there's some familiarity there. Maybe they're like, oh, well, maybe the offense kind of dwindling down towards the end of the season wasn't all your fault because all we had is JP or GP and Freiermuth, really. And so, look, we got you your old weapon from Seattle. So maybe that happens. Maybe the Steelers land Aaron Rodgers and we end up with like, I think this is what I think happens. I think we either get Aaron Rodgers, Russ, and if we don't get either of those, then we end up with Jameis Winston or something and really try extra hard to trade up to 1. But
I literally,
it's just the logic is just hilarious, bro. The logic is hilarious.
I know the logic is crazy, bro, but I swear.
So you think we make a run to the play, like if we skip out on the quarterback we've been scouting to make a run at the playoffs?
I think that's what your owner said, and you know, hey, we gotta make it to the, because what's the point of me? What's the point? And like again, I don't have a problem with Shador. My whole thing is, what's the point of me getting a rookie quarterback? He's going to have his bumps and bruises because he is a rookie quarterback. I think he gonna become. I don't want him to become something for the next head coach. I ain't drafting this motherfucker for him to be good for the next. Like you're going to be a Giants fan for the next 80 years of your life, dog. You are going to be a Giants fan, so you got time to watch it back. To watch Shador develop. These boys is on the clock. They got 365 right now, and with that 365, I'm going to use this quarterback that I'm running with, which is the legend. We can call them legends, so we're not disrespecting like literally Super Bowl winning quarterbacks, which is the legend and the blue chip player that can kill this shit. I'm not going to spend a 3rd overall pick on, respectfully, a player that I won't even be able to really coach if we don't make it to the playoffs this year. That's my logic. That is my logic. I know that's stupid, but
basically it's all on the words of we got to win now. and
Yes. No, no, no.
that's a,
100%.
it's just based off that.
That
See,
no,
my thing is
100%.
from what our GM Joe Shane has done in free agency, he's not overspending. He's not doing any of that. He said in the presser before free agency, like, look, we're not going to just go all in and screw up this situation, thinking this is our last year. We're kind of going into this with everything in mind, and we're going to move smart. And that's what they've done with these contracts. But we've been stuck on this third pick for a minute, so I'm gonna go with the Patriots. And with the Patriots, I'm gonna give them Tet. I'm gonna give them Tet. They've been spending a lot of money, all over the place. You know, they got the best player in free agency in Milton Williams. They some questionable contracts. The Harold Landry contract, not a big fan of, but you know, when you're a bad team, you gotta overpay to get guys to go there. Sometimes it is what it is, but get Drake May, his bona fide wide receiver one, big body receiver, got popped there in the slot. You have Ramondre. So, you know, this could have been a Genty spot if they had like the Raiders backfield or if they had like y'all backfield maybe, but I think they go Tet here.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, I think they tried to get some O-line, a few O-linemen. It didn't work out. But yeah, I think that's a good pick for the Patriots right there. For the Jaguars, you know, I think with them, they really would have liked. I think they really would have liked Tet because they could work Brian Robinson anywhere they wanted to, and then have Tet as the outside guy for Trevor Lawrence. But since he's off the board here, I think they go ahead and they take Will Campbell. I think they take Will Campbell to go ahead and kick him inside. It's early for a guard, but I think he's going to be an all pro.
So you're off him being a tackle. You're like, yeah, that's sick as a guard.
Well, no. They're off him being a tackle. They're like, bro, his arms are too short. 33-inch arms, bro. You can't be a tackle. Don't make the rules.
All right, no, I feel that. I feel
I mean,
that.
you know what I'm saying? That's part of the reason why he's dropping. Like, people don't even, you know what I'm saying? He like
So, do
falls.
you think he could be an elite enough guard where it's like? And I'm not mad at the pick. Like, I still think it. You know, in terms of like his like ability, you know what I mean, and his fundamentals. Like, he's a phenomenal lineman. But like,
So it's funny because like one of the things that I was watching, I was listening to one of the people I like respect a lot when it comes to this. When he's talking about Shador, he's not talking about none of his trick, like basically anything he does well. It's like, oh yeah, he do this well, but like whatever, like, you know, they don't really like that because if you're not an all pro quarterback, I don't know if you can be drafted this high. I'm like, oh really? And then he goes, and then right after that, he speaks on Will Campbell, and he's like, oh, he's just a football guy, and he's just a football. He's all about ball, and you know, his teams love him, and these coaches they just love him. They just love him so much, and And it's like, okay, you ain't even talk about the man talent. They just love him. So if he's the football guy that they love so much, I think they're okay with the fact that he's not suited to play tackle. They kick him in the guard, and honestly, I think he's Zach Martin. He's Nelson from Quentin Nelson
Quentin Nelson.
from the
So
Colts.
I think he went for it too, or did Zach Martin go for
6. Zach
it?
went 14, and Quentin Nelson went 6 in his respect.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, pack that line with, and I'm not gonna lie. I mean, with Evan Ingram not being there, I think there's a possibility to go Tyler Warren, but that's a conversation for another day.
Oh my God.
Why not?
Yeah, I mean, again, look, these guys mess up the draft. Well, okay, so part of the reason why I think they go Will Campbell is because last year, Tampa drafted Graham Barton in the first round. And they drafted him. He was a guard. He could play a little bit of tackle, but they put him at center, and he literally changed their entire running game. Like he literally, and they have Liam Cohen was the offensive coordinator, and Liam Cohen is now the head coach for the Jaguars. So I could see him doing something like that here at at
Uh,
5.
that was in the 20s. So hopefully in Duval they're
They
fine
got
with
they
that.
got Bucky Irvin in the fourth, fifth round. You know what I mean? They might fuck around and get Genty at 5. Can't help where you pick.
Hey, that's a possibility too. You never know, man. You never know. At 6 though, we're gonna go Genty here. I think if Tet was still here, I'd possibly still go there. But you got Chip Kelly, you got Pete Carroll there. You just traded for Geno. You're pretty much lock and loaded to compete in this division. If Sean Payton can turn it around with Bo Nix, why can't you? So
I mean, he really believes in his quarterback. Like he believes in Geno. He believed in Geno. Shipped out Russ for Geno. He comes back into the game. They don't get the numbers worked out with Geno over there in Seattle. Yo, yeah, I'll bring my man over. How much you asking for? 45? That's it. Come on. Believe in Geno.
I think it's a decent little reload, kind of get younger situation that the Seahawks are trying to do over there. You're like, look, we got a true wide receiver one in JSN. Get DK out of here, get that Monin out of there, and then we'll go younger quarterback. We think we could get similar, maybe even better, higher upside quarterback play out of Sam Darnold. Maybe the best is still yet to come. Who knows? But
Right.
got him at a decent deal. So, what are you doing at 7 with the Jets?
With the Jets, with the quarterback still on the board, I know they got a little prove it deal for what 20 mil with Justin Fields. I think that Justin Fields is the starter this year, but I think the Jets go ahead and they're just like, look, we got to take a crack at QB, and they take Shador off the board here at 7.
Bro,
Shador in New York. Shador,
so,
just like how you dream.
yeah, you're so unserious, bro. You're so unserious. All right, Panthers are 8. For them, obviously they need a lot. Kind of everywhere. I kind of also like Tet here, not gonna lie, but obviously he's not on the board.
I think they go defense.
Yeah, that's sort of what I'm leaning here. That's sort of what I'm leaning. I mean, everybody, we could kind of see what Xavier Leggett could do. He doesn't seem like a real wide receiver one. Jartavius Sanders seems like he has potential there, tight end. See if Adam Thielen can push out a couple more years in the slot. But I'm gonna have him go Mason Graham here, which he was mocked pretty often here previously, and then mock fatigue a little bit, but he's still to me like the best player on the board for them, and they just go best player available with all the needs that they got.
Yeah, with the Saints, they got Kellen Moore, and he's got a few offensive weapons, but their defense could use some younger juice. So I'm going to go with. Can you go to D edge rushers? I want to make sure I get the right one. Is it Mikael? Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Mikael Williams here, edge rusher out of Georgia. He can play a little bit of linebacker and also play on the edge. They say so. I don't know. We'll see how he does, but yeah, this is my pick here for the Saints. Some defense.
Gotcha. All right, so for the Bears, they put a lot in the O line. They traded for it's not Joe Tooney. Who they get from the Chiefs?
It's not Joe Tooney. It
Was
wasn't
it
Joe
Joe?
Tooney.
Was it Joe Tooney?
I thought it was Joe Tooney. Let me see.
Oh yeah, it was Joe Tooney. So they just got Joe Tooney, and they also spent some money in free agency throwing it at the line. So I think this guy goes higher than a lot of people might anticipate. They would prefer Genty, but we talked about for a long time how good this guy is, I think they go Amari and Hampton here if
Yeah,
he's that
and,
far.
and I honestly like people are going to think that that's a shocker. They're going to be so surprised if something like that were to happen on a draft night, where I wouldn't be. I mean, this is the guy who was on the staff that drafted um, Jamar Gibbs at 12 when Bijan went at 8. Uh, and again, he threw a lot of assets at offensive line, and I think they're prepared for Genty to not be there, but I think that they're looking for a certain type of back. And, you know, maybe they get a trade partner. Someone wants to trade up for whatever reason. They could trade back and get a Mario Hampton. But I wouldn't be surprised if they sit there and they select Mario Hampton. Like, he's a 3-down back with vision, can block, catch the ball at the backfield, and they would still have DeAndre Smith and or Rashawn Johnson to have that two-headed monster that he created with uh with I want to say DeAndre
Detroit,
Swift.
wait,
And,
Detroit
yeah, in Detroit with Jameer Gibbs
and
and
Monty.
yeah, and Monty. But then even before that, it was Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift. This DeAndre Swift. Oh shit! Damn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that it was like running back musical chairs in your head.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I really wouldn't be surprised if Amari Hampton goes a little higher than we expect, especially if the draft is what they say it is. I mean, he's a good football player. I think he'll be a good football player. Right now, San Francisco is just completely gutting their roster. Looks like, and kind of like what Micah said, you know, this is what happens when rookie quarterback ain't on that rookie deal anymore. So I think they go ahead and
A
they
little
move
bit of
to.
Niners hate, a little Niners shade.
Yeah, I mean, I think they'll still be fine because it's the Niners and they know what they're doing. They actually, for whatever reason, they rarely. I mean, I think the last guard that they drafted or the last lineman they drafted in the first round was like Mike McGlinchey or something like that. They kind of are able to find guards throughout the draft, linemen throughout the draft, and just set them, place them. So I think they go D line here, and I think that they go. I think here is where they possibly go up. It's a little more right there. Yeah. Oh. Grant.
Kenneth Grant.
Yeah. I think they go Kenneth. I think they surprised people. Go Kenneth Grant. They surprised me in 2020 when they went Javon Kinlaw, and I think they do something like that again.
Okay. For y'all, I can see y'all going trenches here. I think, you know, obviously your fan base really wants Genty. Y'all just got Javonte Williams on a pretty good deal. I saw some content creators complain. I'm like, that's a pretty low, you know, it's a pretty like low risk, high reward deal, $3.5 million. It's very Cowboys type deal.
Yeah, and it's funny because like I don't necessarily get like I understand why the rest of the league doesn't understand it. My whole thing is when our own fan base doesn't understand it. It's like, bro, do you not know the roster? Do you not know what these like what we've done for the past 10 years? Like we're not going to spend no money on a running back because if we were to spend 8 million on a running back, we can't draft a running back. They're not going to, you know what I mean? They won't draft one. So the way that they set it up is they want to set it up for them to be able to draft best player available and for that player to be able to start right away. So, you know, and Rico isn't like people don't realize this. Rico is a free agent. So Rico probably was going to make about 6 to 8 million on the market. And this guy came in at the vet minimum. So we're going to just take the vet minimum and we're going to throw some darts at the board and get us some running backs in this draft.
Facts. Yeah, so for y'all, I think y'all just go after the trenches. I mean, sometimes I think you guys try to outsmart the room a little bit. And despite this guy being a riser, I think you guys go Josh Simmons here instead of Membu.
See, I don't. It's funny you said that. The guys that I know that really scout, they love Josh Simmons. Like they love him. They're like, yo, he actually would be the tackle one in the draft if he wasn't injured. But he tore his patella tendon or broke his basically broke his
Yeah,
and
some leg injury.
yeah, and so but the medicals came back on that. He's not going to be ready for OTAs, but he will be ready from training camp. And if this ends up being the pick, I'm not going to be upset. But I know the Cowboys, they're not going to
Yeah,
pick him simply because they just drafted Tyler Guyton last year, which I don't think that like I think that's like I don't like that logic. Um, because it's like, yo, this cat is better. And this is your left tackle. Like you don't really want to play with that, hoping that somebody becomes good at football. While I do believe that Tyler Guyton deserves a shot, I mean, if I got a blue chip left tackle available, I kind of got to take him. So
yeah, and what people got to realize, this isn't Madden, so I mean, these guys do rotate in and out sometimes. So you know, can never go wrong addressing the trenches, right?
right. So, but yeah, here with the Miami Dolphins, I think they go ahead and they shore up their offensive line and they draft offensive guard Tyler Booker.
Oh, shit.
Or interior offensive lineman. I don't know what they got it.
Bama, Bama on Bama, got Bama
Yeah.
guarding Bama. Yeah, I think it's someone to help protect Tua. See him on the yacht, eating good, living good. Well, let's get him some protection. For the Colts, you know what we're going to do here. You know this is what the Colts fans are looking for. This is where he keeps being mocked, but I could definitely see him going higher. I could see him going in the top 10, but get a playmaker for Anthony Richardson or maybe Daniel Jones, who they just threw in there, and it kind of feels like, look, man, you can't beat out Daniel Jones in training camp. Then that's kind of your end of the road here in
I
Indianapolis.
think that's fair, bro. I honestly,
Nah, for sure.
and I mean that's good for them for getting Tyler Warren. It's going to be his fault that he don't produce as a first round player, but you got a tight end. Yeah. All right. I never wish this on any of my tight ends, man. If I like a tight end, I do not want them
Well,
to
what's go with your tight end fetish, bro? You always want these tight ends to just go and
go
is
where
it
there's
like
a
it's
quarterback
like
that knows.
fantasy? Yeah,
Well,
fantasy shit.
no, it's just like, all right, these tight ends most of the time they don't work out. Noah Fant of the world didn't work out. Eric Ebrons of the world didn't work out. I can go all the way down where we had everybody wanted to Gronk. After Gronk, you know what I'm saying, in the early 2010s, everybody wanted the Gronk, so they were going high. And they were warranted the pick, but you go into a place that offense don't know how to be like not even I don't want to say revolutionary, but they just don't know how to incorporate these type of players into the offense. And it's like I think we got lucky last year with how they treated Brock Bowers, but also for all the like for that one Brock Bowers, we get to Kyle Pitts. For whatever reason, that didn't work itself out. And I just like I want him in Cincy. I want him where they got a quarterback that knows how to hit the pass catchers the ball. You know,
No, I feel that. What about Atlanta at 15?
Atlanta's one of those teams that need a little bit of everything, so nothing can you can't really pick a bad player here.
They
But
better go
this is
defense this year, man. Especially
this
they
is
just lost Grady Jarrett.
yeah. I mean, I think later in their second pick, I think that they'll go D tackle. But here, I think they get the best linebacker on the board, Jahad Campbell, who might not even fall this far. But yeah, he's a little bit of everything. I think he's going to be a stud at linebacker. They say he can brush the passer, but I think he just needs to be a three down back.
Fast.
Not like Fred Warner.
With the Cardinals, I think they just continue to beef up the O line. I think they could. I mean, they spent some money on defense. They went out and got Josh Sweat, threw a nice little bag at him, and I think he got him at a pretty fair price, to be honest. So I think you go ahead and attack O line, and then they run to the stage and get Membu here, and he stops his slide.
Well, I don't necessarily know if it's a slide, but yeah,
it's a recent slide. It's a recent slide. Yeah, it's a recency slide.
Yeah. And then the Bengals here need a little bit of everything. Unfortunately, they're beefing with all kinds of players, over there. But they finally granted Trey Henderson his trade, so we should be hearing the news anytime now for one of the suitors that probably gave up anywhere between, I always say 3 and a 5. Trey Henderson is good. I still think he got juice, so maybe he might warrant a little 2 and 3, kind of like what Jeremy Tunsil did. But here I think they go D line and they revamp the pass rush. Cincinnati don't really worry about what your pass was, so I think they go Mike Green here, pass rusher out of Marshall.
Oh, so you think they're not really into the character concerns or some of the allegations?
I heard a rumor today by a pretty credible source that the stuff with him kind of got cleaned up at the combine, like with the allegations and all of that. So I think he should. I don't think he'll probably drop.
Oh, really? So you don't think he drops at all? So I'm interested to see where he goes. Sounds like he did a good job making a good impression and explaining that situation away. With Seattle, just got rid of DK, just let Tyler Lockett go. Then they go Matthew Golden here to pair with JSN. And that, Sam Darnold, give him another weapon there. Just got done with a nice situation with JJ and Jordan Addison. Give him an extra weapon.
Now, again, we kind of mocked him here last time, and the thing about him is, why doesn't he want to run? And that's the only reason. That's the only thing I'm skeptical that has me skeptical about this player. But he has the size and he has the length, and
maybe he wants to fall. Shit.
I don't know why you want to not make no money, but yeah, he has the size and he has the length.
Situation.
He has the basically outside boundary corner. He was awesome his freshman year. Really hasn't shown as much due to injury since, and we don't know how fast he is. But because of the pedigree, I don't think he gets out the first round. And I think the Bucs just take advantage of the fact that a lot of these teams are scared off due to the fact that he didn't run, and they select Will Johnson before Jahdae Barron, which is crazy because Jahdae Barron is actually the better DB. He's the better corner, but he's smaller.
You think so? That's what I'm saying. I don't know if he'll be able to play on the outside.
Well, he played Jeremiah Smith on the outside, and he's going to be the first overall player in the draft. But he allowed to come out.
Yeah, we'll see, depending on how the quarterbacks are looking that year. Who's at the top of the draft.
Yeah, but I mean, he clocked a 4.3, played outside, inside, got a little bit of Tyrann Mathieu into his game. But yeah, he just doesn't have the measurements. Sometimes that
he got a little bit of safety in his game.
Yeah, like nickel. I say nickel.
True. All right, so kind of funny because I think we mocked him here last time too, but going based off like you said last time, the reports and Sean Payton don't be bullshitting. I mean, sometimes he does do his coach speak a little bit, but I do think they should either, if Loveland isn't here, I think this is a good Luther Burden spot. I think it's one or the other, but I'm gonna just go with Loveland. Sure, if that tight end position.
Here, Pittsburgh, they just got rid of a first-round running back. Just extended DK Metcalf to be their wide receiver one, giving them north of $30 million a year. I think we see our third running back go off the board here at Pittsburgh. It's not going to be no damn Cam Scottaboo, though. What the hell? I'm going to go.
You're not high on Scatterboo?
Dude, he's like 5'7".
So?
He's like 5'7". Yeah, he's not. I ain't trusting that. It's not Christian McCaffrey.
Bro, you gotta let go of your boy Deuce. I feel like because you have your boy Deuce over there, you kind of the short running back.
He's short. He can't pass block, and we don't even know how fast he runs. You gotta know at least how fast you gotta. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? So
what about a Caleb Johnson?
Caleb Johnson? Nah, right here, I'm going to go with Quinshon Judkins from Ohio State.
Give me a week or two. I'll be able to rattle off his name perfectly. But with the Chargers, interesting. Obviously, last time Mario Hampton was here, they would love that situation. Not the case this time. Where Harbaugh, you would think, look, you got somebody like Luther Burden, you got somebody like these names, Emeka Ibuka. You have these type of players, but like we talked about, man, we got Lad McConkey in the second round, man. We're gonna get value those later picks. I think they go ahead, have the defense play a little bit better. We just saw that they re-signed Khalil Mack for another year, but I think they attack the secondary and they get Barron here.
Yeah, and they don't care about height. They don't height discriminate over there in LA. All right, another team that just got a decent amount of needs. They would like to have, if there was a wide receiver one available here, maybe they would take a crack at it. Unfortunately,
hell no, they're not doing that.
Well, I mean, again, a wide receiver one, like a big X, fast, clear cut, Justin Jefferson, outside.
If Golden was here, you think they go Golden and kind of go out of it?
No, because the problem with them is they have all the other wide receivers that you would want on your football team, but a wide receiver one. Literally, you know what I mean? The big and fast guy, the route runner, the possession guy. They have all the wide receiver, number two wide receivers. They just don't got the one.
Right. See, the problem with the Packers too, they have all these different type of receivers, but then what's his name? Christian Watson can't stay on the field. Right. Romeo Dobbs, lots of concussions, or if he continues to get concussed, and it just becomes a recurrent issue.
It would be perfect if they could get a wide receiver one and bump everybody one notch down the depth chart. Their wide receiver unit would just be insane. But here I think this is where James Pierce ends up getting drafted. Even if you got some issues, you're gonna be in Green Bay, bro. Sorry, it don't matter. You can't really trip out that way. So it's too cold for you to be out there bugging. You in the house.
Facts. So the Vikings made a good amount of moves here today, and I kind of like a lot of moves they made on both sides of the line. Made moves on both sides of the line here. So with them, I think they go with your boy in the secondary. I think they go with Amon Warrior.
Yeah. I mean, they're definitely setting it up for them to, just draft whatever's available to them at that pick, which I think that's the best way to, play the draft. That way you're not pigeonholing yourself into selecting something and then the player be trash. Houston, right here, this is like the dream scenario for them. They don't know how it happened, but they got off the Tunsil pack, and they're going to go ahead and they're going to get Kelvin Banks Jr. He slides all the way down. Well, not all the way down, but slides to 25. and they're able to insert him wherever they need to in the offensive line. Since that offensive line coach came through and was like, "Yo, we don't need you, we don't need you, we don't need you, and you suck."
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Tunsil, he's coming up on like a contract year, so I guess it's like, yo, we're just gonna get off him now.
Well, here's the thing: he don't get a new. He's not supposed to get a new contract till 2 years from now. But every time they get the left tackles get new contracts, he's like, "Yo, I'm not stepping out there until I get my extension." So they always got to give him an extension. So I mean, good for Washington. Like they're going to have to obviously they're going to have to sign him to a new extension, but they got money, and again they got a asset that they got to protect. And like I said, the Texans they wanted to get off the pack, basically got off of it for a 2 and a 3. It's a lot of stuff coming around about the leadership, his leadership, and all of that. But again, for Washington, they probably just care about the talent, and they're like our offensive line coach can deal with the rest of that stuff.
All right, cool. All right, with the Rams, I think they're in the position to just go best player available. I think we're just going to go against the grain of where he usually goes. He usually goes a pick later. I'm going to go with the Rams going ahead and get Malachi starts.
I can see them deploying Malachi in a lot of different ways, especially if they want to play him out in the slot. They blitz with their slot cornerback a lot, but they did last year. So yeah, I could definitely see that being a nice little Swiss Army knife for them. But for the Ravens, they just kind of do what they do, and that's draft edge. So Donovan as a Ronku. Yeah.
Little anime name. Yeah, just keep padding it. You can never have too many pass rushers, man. You can never have too many pass rushers. And that's how the Lions are feeling. They select goes Zadarius Smith. Aiden Hutchinson's coming back from his injury. I think they go ahead and get Shamar Stewart here. And they would have preferred if Myles Garrett was actually available and that wasn't a contract situation. I know they're in on him. So, they get somebody to pair with Aiden Hutchinson.
If I'm Washington, especially picking at 29, I'm really ecstatic here, especially because, I just acquired Debo, who should probably be manning the slot, and Terry McLaurin is going to probably play on the outside. I'm going to get a nice young Swiss Army knife who can do anything for his team, whether that is play on the outside, play on the slot, and he's used to also being with a bunch of very, very good wide receivers. I'm going to go ahead and get Ohio State, Emeka Ibuka. And when them boys are done playing, when Terry McLaurin and Debo hang it up, he's going to be the next alpha leading the way for Washington.
Got it. All right. So for Buffalo, you're picking at the end of the draft. Just go best player available. I think this guy. I think in reality, I think he goes a little bit higher. He has his own character concerns, not due to anything like a Mike Green or a James Pierce, really. I think it's something about maturity or some shit like that. Maybe his interviews didn't go well, but I got them going Walter Nolan here.
Walter Nolan. Tyler Booker was whooping his ass. Beating the hell out of him. Alabama versus Ole Miss. Was getting smacked up. The Chiefs right here, last year they selected the guard that was available to them. Obviously, kind of similar situation as the Cowboys. Really wasn't that talented, but they needed the position. So they kind of took him. I think here it's definitely between Josh Conley and Gray Zabel. Only reason why I think it could be Zabel over Conley is because Zabel got a little bit of a position flexibility, and depending on what they do with the free agency, they might just go ahead and try to kick him in the center or in the guard. So I think, especially because they just traded away Joe Tooney, so I think they get his replacement here and try to take a stab at it in the second round, trying to get a tackle. But I think they go Greg Zabel.
Yeah, definitely got to replenish that O line. Last Super Bowl kind of felt like the Chiefs Bucks Super Bowl, where it was like, look, you couldn't protect Patrick Mahomes, and y'all got chewed out for it. So definitely makes all the sense in the world. And then here with the Eagles,
God damn it, they always get fucking somebody.
I mean, yeah, man. Like everyone's been saying, pick 15 and pick 50. Second round pick. That's why with the Steelers, I mean, if you're a Steelers fan, you're happy with DK, but I mean, second round pick super valuable, especially in this draft.
But in all honesty, I did go back to the Eagle draft where they were just like, yo, you know what? Yo, here's this first round pick, bro. Let me just get AJ Brown. I ain't dealing with none of this shit. We need a number one wide receiver. Here's a first round pick, bro. Come on. And obviously, like I think AJ Brown is he can do more on the football field than DK can. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I thought that someone might have given up a first round pick for DK, like Green Bay, you know what I mean, or something like that. Give up the first round pick for DK and just be happy, like, yo, we got our number one wide receiver, and let's go play ball.
I really wanted DK to go to the Chargers, but I just knew it wasn't going to happen. But that was like
Chargers too. Yeah. That would have been a nice little pick for them. But yeah, I mean, I do like the all right. Look, like you said, if it's 15 and 50, here, bro. Here's a second, bro. Let me get the solid piece for the next 5 years of my franchise.
Yeah. But with the Eagles, just lost Josh Sweat, just lost Milton Williams. So replenish that D line. Got a lot of options here, but I think they go with the big guy, Derek Harmon. Wrap up the draft, nice and smooth.
They're gonna end up drafting fucking Jalen Walker, and I'm gonna be.
That was my other. It was between the two. It was Harmon or Walker, but.
Bro, I hope someone I hope something happens and they got to forfeit their pick. Like, this is ridiculous. They can't keep getting away with this shit. But again, I do want to hit on your point talking about after about 15 and 50, they graded around the same way. And I know this is a deep running back class, and that's like really been talked about. But if I really like the player, I'm just going to draft him. If I really believe that a running back is better than whoever else is on the board, like, might as well just draft him. So I wouldn't be surprised if running backs go a little bit higher than we expected. Well, I mean, in our draft they went pretty high, but don't be surprised if there's more first round running backs this year than usual.
Now, if it kind of ended up like this, and the last one to go was Judkins at 21, who do you foresee? Maybe the Chargers, depending on what they do with J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah. I could see
maybe the Vikings. The Vikings.
I can see the Vikings because it's like, look, we can't. I know we just read up on Aaron Jones, but we don't want all that wear and tear on him. Be nice for him to have a little backup.
And he was healthier than I expected this year. I expected him not to, like when he's on the field, impactful in the pass game, and he's a beast. And that's why his little brother's, killing it in Buffalo, and he gonna get paid. So that cooked blood.
But like Keldon Johnson, because it's just one of those things where, like, especially these cats at the back end, Buffalo. James Cook is talking about he wants some money or something like that, 15 mil. Some people not cool with it. Some people are. It's just.
I say you paid him, man.
Hey, me too. So it's just one of those things where, again, football organizations, sometimes they don't necessarily think like the fans do. Oh, running back isn't valued, this, that, and the other thing. So if they fall in love with a back, I'm just not really I'm not gonna be surprised, especially because everyone, you know, talking about how deep this class is at D line, and another sneaky position I wouldn't be surprised goes early would be linebacker, because there's literally like four in this fucking class.
Yeah, that's why. That's why I didn't. It didn't feel right to have Jalen Walker get out the first, because like I just don't think it's realistic. But
yeah.
I'm just going based off what the Eagles typically do, plus what they just lost. You got to pick at the back of the second. So
yeah, this I call this the meat and potatoes draft, because it's not those premier, positions, quarterback, X wide receivers, outside corner. Well, there is one, Will Johnson, but again, we don't know how fast he is. So it's like, yo, let's just.
I mean, we got the tape to see his game speed a little bit, but how much you really putting into the 40, bro?
Bro, we haven't seen him run.
We've seen him run in Michigan.
And he's not doing his pro day. It's just like, on the
film. Him not doing both is kind of, I don't know what's going with him. Maybe he's feeling himself. I don't know.
Nah, I think, he said he hurt his hamstring. His hamstring's going to be hurt. His hamstring was hurt.
And he doesn't want to, have a bad showing for no reason.
And he's like, his pro day is going to be 10 days before the draft, April 14th. All right, bro. Hey, look. He'll be a first round pick for sure if he just runs a 4.4. So why would you not just go out there and run that 4.4?
I think he's going to be a first regardless, and that's why he's like, man, I don't really care.
Yeah, but he's going top. Honestly, I think he could go 12. If he ran, I think he'd go 12. I think he could go 12. But they don't trust his health. I mean. And then now we don't see you do what we got to see cornerbacks do. You remember the reason people love Pat so much is because he was the same size as him, but also clocked that 4.4. I mean, we wanted him over Micah. They didn't even get a chance to draft
him. PS2. But yeah, that's it for that. Matter of fact, our mock draft 2.0. Post free agency, a lot of different changes and whatnot. So, there's going to be more changes. So probably hit y'all with the 3.0 once there's, like Austin said, there is still a decent amount of impactful free agents left. So we'll see how that shakes out. And there'll probably be some more different projections that we may have.
Yeah, and more. We gotta let Lion season run its course, and we'll know more information, and we'll be able to. We're gonna try to be sharp as hell by the time draft day comes through.
All right, man. Well, that's it. You got anything else?
Nah, like and subscribe.